Hello indie game fans, indie game developers continue to impress with the support of their games, where we have a number of long-running titles still getting updates in this edition of the big content patches. Let's begin with Kingdom 2 Crowns Never Alone, a co-op focus entry that now allows you to tackle all challenge islands with a friend, even adding a new island alongside the usual balancing and improvements. This has been one of those runaway success stories in indie gaming, where the Kingdom franchise now appears to have quite a loyal following, so here's looking forward to what's next from the team. One of the go-to survival crafting experiences that has quietly rolled into one of the biggest games out there is ASTRONEER. And while not as huge as something like Minecraft or Valheim, what the team has accomplished is nothing to sniff at either. They released the Mission, Compass and Power update, which is pretty self-explanatory, where missions are a more structured way of exploring what the game has to offer. Power includes multiple new energy generation options, and the Compass has been reworked to make it much easier to use. So if you love the genre and have never played this, grab a friend and dive in. Another roguelite which has been getting a huge amount of free content is Atomicrops, releasing the Doom and Bloom update, which adds the devil in the form of a deer, offering high risk, high reward options and a whole new bunch of upgrades, making it a good time to jump back in. Barotrauma has been chugging along nicely in early access, being a co-op submarine simulator where you and a bunch of other players must work together to navigate the dark seas of Jupiter's moon, where of course alien monsters lurk in the depths. Doesn't help that there may be one or more traitors on board, where the Embrace the Abyss update adds more story features to the campaign, 2 new deep sea abyss monsters, a new feature in the form of abandoned outposts which you can explore for rewards, and many more balancing changes and bug fixes. This game, like a submarine, is stealthily getting up there to be among one of the most successful titles, so their content update plan is certainly worth a study. An awesome pixel art action roguelite is the family-focused Children of Morta, once again being the gift that keeps on giving, with now multiple free updates, where Family Trials adds a new procedurally generated dungeon with new gameplay systems, items, character builds and more. It's a whole new part of the game separate from the main campaign, feeling more like a traditional action roguelite in structure, with plenty of challenge and reward to be obtained. So if you have already beaten the game but wanted more replayability, this is the update for you. The co-op horror title DEVOUR has blown up in popularity as well, where the Asylum update adds a whole new map to explore, which is critical for this game. The Not So Indie Don't Starve Together features once again, since I'm a huge sucker for their animated shorts, where C'est La Vie is a character refresh for Wes, a character that has a skill named Ballonomancy, fixing some of the issues that the community had with the rework last year, and as always, sit back and drool over the animation in this. One of the awesome first-person slasher titles is ELDERBORN, releasing the very aptly named Boomercore update, which adds 4 new display rendering modes that makes it look very similar to games from the 90s, and while no new content has been added, the visuals alone are worth a mention.
Awake, arise, or be forever fallen. God's only mistake was creating you. The end of our reign draws near.
Fallen Angel is an impressive action-adventure title that has kindly sponsored a video on the channel before, releasing the Punishment Mode update, which can be seen as a form of New Game Plus. Since you play as the titular Fallen Angel and battle your way into heaven, this new mode adds new challenges, where old enemies have gotten new abilities and bosses have learnt a new trick or two. It also comes with a visual overhaul to distinguish between the two modes, and if you have not played this, do check it out. A light-hearted free-to-play battle royale title is King of Crabs, where update 1.12 adds a new type of crab, a new level, weapon and enemies, making it even more of a must-try in my opinion. An underrated action roguelite that released in February is Medievalien, which mixes fantasy and sci-fi, where this early access title released its first content update titled Spectral Dog and Molten Biome, releasing a new canine companion and new area with new enemies and content to check out. Of course, No Man's Sky once again features in this series, where I think that enough has been said about the 5-year journey that this game has been on and the turnaround it has had, where the Expeditions update gives us a whole new mode to play. Alongside existing modes like Creative, Survival and so on, this is a seasonal and community-driven mode where every player begins on the same planet, achieving community milestones as the days go by, unlocking unique rewards for the season. Everything unlocked will then be available across all modes, so you can add that badge of honor Diablo season style to your profile, adding even more to a fantastic game. The awesome first-person factory builder that is already a runaway success is Satisfactory, releasing the simply titled Update 4, and like the 3 that came before it, have all been significant content drops. Get this, the update adds drones, which allows you to quickly transport things without as much setup required as trains or conveyor belts, gives you more movement options in the form of a hover pack and zip lines, critical in a first-person game, expanded the nuclear power options and added a whole bunch of lighting options so that your factory can be well lit at night. It's on par with Factorial in terms of the factory building experience, just in a different perspective, so I'm happy to see the continued progress with this. We round off with TemTem Cipanku Island, the newest area for the monster taming MMO, which adds a bunch of new stuff.
Clan Bel Soto is at it again, and this time their hijinks have resulted in dozens of new and powerful TemTem being released into the airborne archipelago.
On top of new Tems, gear, techniques, and traits, the highlight has to be the first mythical TemTem lair, a raid battle of sorts, where up to 5 players must work together to get a chance of catching the powerful creature. Interestingly, each lair has you starting with an empty team and backpack, where you need to form your team along the way, giving it somewhat of a roguelite feel.
A few vocal tamers requested the return of the crystal skates, and we're happy to oblige. But that's not all. New methods of traversal will give tamers easy access to previously visited areas in the airborne archipelago. And you'll need every advantage you can get, for the first mythical TemTem lair is awaiting you and 4 of your friends. Assemble your squad and get ready for the toughest challenge in TemTem.
It also includes the first digital type Tems that you can capture and various quality of life improvements, so it's certainly shaping up to be a viable entrant in the space, taking the #1 spot. For a look at upcoming monster taming games, check out this video and I will see you after the jump.